Back to Rise and Grind. Today is just a very, very special day because of the man sitting right in the middle between us, and we just want to just welcome Mike Wallace to the show. We've missed you. We know you have been going through a lot with you and your family, and you know we love you and we appreciate you coming. I know it was really important for you to come on today.
Yeah, it was. It is very important for me to be here today, and it's one of those situations where, this organization. I lost my wife. You know my wife, LaShaun Wallace, and you were just about to get to know her after a short, brave battle with cancer. And I just wanted to come in and publicly thank this community because they responded in droves. I've had thousands and thousands of texts, letters, emails, all kind of support. And it started from this organization who allowed me the space and the time to be with my wife as we walked through this painful, beautiful journey. Once the diagnosis came, and I can't thank everyone enough. Starting with owner Robert Pera, Joe Abadi, on down Jason Wexler, Zach Kleiman, all the way through all of our shows. Chris Vernon for speaking up on his show. You guys here, it's just been so beautiful. John Pugliese, Scott Zachary, all of my Grind City Media family, and LaShaun was a part of that too. And I felt the prayers from this community. People I know, people I don't know, would just reach out and want to lift our kids and everything. So it's just been beautiful. The NBA family too. I've heard from half the teams in the league. I was telling you, during the break, Dwayne Wade, guy that I got to know for 10 years in Miami, was one of the first 5 people to text me once I made it public that my wife passed last Tuesday. So it's been a joy. It's been a joy.
You mentioned I didn't have the honor of meeting LaShaun, but I've been able to get to know her a little bit better through your posts and the stories from others. And she was a force in this community and gave back in so many different ways. And I know you've asked if people want to support, the best way they can do that is to give back to different places throughout Memphis. Can you note on what those places are and where people can put their focus towards?
Yes, and one of the things, the beautiful things about God and the timing is that God doesn't make mistakes. And I know the first couple of years that we were here in Memphis, we came in 2016 to really start Grind City Media. And she had done so much work in Florida. We started Duffels for Kids to promote and raise awareness for foster children in state agencies. When we were in Florida, we fostered 17 children over a 4-year span that came in and lived in our home. And that was something she spearheaded. Our youngest 2 children, Kevin and Kelly, are adopted. So when we left there, we brought them here. And when we first got here, she kind of struggled to find her lane. Florida's different from Tennessee. But over the last couple of years, she's really branched out. And the Junior League of Memphis is one organization that empowers women across this city. And, one of the things that they have is this place called the Repeat Boutique, where lightly used goods and clothing and appliances are put on resale at a discounted price for less fortunate people who can't afford, especially in a time like this. So, LaShawn's work has gone into that, and they're going to have a display with everything that she's put forward to that. The Memphis River Parks Partnership, right along Riverside where we live, we were notified the other day that they're going to dedicate a section of River Garden, and it's going to be called LaShawn's Meadow. And, LaShawn will walk every morning along that riverfront. We will have our morning walks down there and come back every single morning. She put so much work as a riverfront ambassador into what we're seeing in Tom Lee Park now. So to have that dedication from the city and the partnership is just, I was floored, and, it goes on and on. Girl Trek and Black Girls Run are 2 fitness organizations for women that empower walking and 5Ks. They've done walks and runs across the country over the last 3 or 4 days in her honor. And, it's just, she also wrote for the Memphis Moms Collective, which is a Memphis Mom blog. And they're going to be reposting her work over the course of this week. So it's including a piece that she did after George Floyd's murder. And she talked about the perspective of a Black mother raising a Black son in the country during this time. Talking about our 21-year-old son, Corey. So, all of that work, I thought, and I used to joke with her all the time, she said that we came here for your job. And, I get the spotlight working with the Grizzlies and all of that. But really, she's the superstar of our household. And, I'm just floored at the impact that she's had in this community. And I'm humble and I'm blessed by it.
When you talk about the impact that she's had, just in the matter of, you moved here in 2016, just what she's able to do in 4 years, what does that say just about who she was?
It says that you know, she's a phenomenal woman, you know, and I get all the attention publicly because of my role, you know, throughout the years with ESPN and, you know, the Big Three Miami Heat, covering all these NBA teams. But I could not be who I am as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a black man in this country without this strong rock of a foundation. And, you know, as we reflect, you know, the strength of my kids, I look at them every day now and I see pieces of her in them, you know. And, you know, I tell you what, it's tough. People have always said, you know, we're praying for your strength. We're praying for your family to be lifted at this time. And we feel the prayers. We absolutely feel the prayers. And every single text, and I'm going to respond to just about every single one of them as we get through these weeks. But we feel every single one of them. You know, my son Kevin, 11 years old. You know, it was a COVID restrictions from the service, the homegoing service. But Kevin wanted to ride in the hearse that drove his mom to her final resting place. So he rode right beside the driver in the limo of the hearse. And at 11 years old, he wanted to be the person that took his mom home. You know, 11 years old. Kelly, his sister, 8 years old. You know, she climbs in the bed every day now because she says, I don't want daddy to be by himself in there. She wants to sleep in mommy's spot, you know, and, you know, that's a beautiful thing too. Corey, my saxophone playing musician who went to the University of Memphis, he played my wife's 2 favorite songs, Amazing Grace and Luther Vandross is So Amazing. You know, my daughter, his twin sister, Courtney, designed the obituary and, you know, and went through all the changes that go into that. So, and her oldest daughter, Kathy, has been here and returned to her roots. And, you know, just to see all of them come together, how can I be weak in a moment like this when our kids have been so strong? You know, and that's been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blessing. And, you know, on that, I go back to 2 men that I admire, 2 friends in this business, 2 colleagues, who've been in a similar situation, and I saw their strength during a time like this. Monty Williams, who lost his wife in a horrible car accident when he was assistant coach at Oklahoma City, sudden death of his wife. They had young children. And then Tony Dungy, the Super Bowl winning football coach, whose oldest son died at 21 years old. And I saw them stand up in those times and talk about their faith and their strength and their family and how much love needed to get us all through. And I drew from those 2 people. I actually went to high school with Monty Williams, and I covered Tony Dungy when I was in the NFL. So I know those 2 struggles personally, and I just want to thank them for their support during this time as well.
And you talk about that faith, and LaShaun's light now continues to watch over your family from above, but you have such a strong family personally. You mentioned that Grind City family. You mentioned the NBA family and the Grizzlies family. I know that Coach Taylor Jenkins was one of those people who reached out to you in the midst of the Grizzlies trying to figure out a way to make the playoffs. Just what did that mean when that came through?
That was special, man. And Coach Taylor, thank you so much for that. You would never know. And your words were heartfelt. And you know, it was one of those things where LaShaun was always telling me, get to the bubble. Like, don't worry about any of this. And this was before we got the official diagnosis. But she was so hurt that I didn't want to do the bubble because I knew we were having some kind of health situation. We just couldn't pinpoint it. And I was like, there's no way I'm leaving you and going to the bubble. Like, that's not going to happen. So every day through this process, she wanted to make sure that the hospital TVs could get the Grizzlies games, or if they couldn't, somebody would bring a Wi-Fi router into our rooms to make sure I could have access to watch the games. And the day before, I think it was the first bubble game, regular season game, restart game, we get the call in the hospital. And I know Taylor Jenkins had been looking for me. Jason Wallace, our media relations director, had told me, man, Taylor's wondering where you are. And he told him, and Taylor called. LaShaun and I were in the room, and I said, LaShaun, this is Coach Jenkins. And she just started, you know, she got emotional. And he wished us the best. He said, there's nothing that I can say to comfort you, but I just want you to know that we're here. You know, we're in Orlando in the bubble, but we're here for you and your family, and we're carrying that with us. And, you know, that's just the class person that he is, you know, and class all throughout this organization, man. And it's just, like I said, it's been so amazing. and it's been such a blessing.
And you just think about Memphis being home, and you get to now walk on the river,
Yes.
walk and see her name and see, what Memphis really, and I know what Memphis meant to her. And
Yes,
in a matter
yes.
of just short 4 years
Yeah.
being here, what Memphis does. And this city, we've always said it's family. When you're a Memphian, you're always a Memphian. We love you, and I hope you feel that love from this city, because Memphis, you will always be. She'll
Yes.
always be Memphis.
Yes. And, she's from Mississippi, central Mississippi. So she's only a couple hours down the road. And, her family has been tremendous through this process. And, her mother, Sarah McKinney, thank you so much, Nene. My kids call her Nene, so I'm going to call her Nene. Nene set aside her own grief process to make sure that I would be able to be with LaShaun every second of every day through 4 different hospital stays, through second opinions at Vanderbilt, through potential second opinions down at Mayo Clinic. Like all of these places, I set aside my Grind City media work, and I want to thank like I said, Grizzlies for allowing me to do that. And I became a cancer research specialist, right? So it's so much I know about that information now, and there's so many people here because of Memphis and St. Jude and Le Bonheur and all the wonderful organizations that are here. We were able to walk in line with so many great, wonderful people. And when I tell you, like, the nurses we were both at UT Methodist, we were at Baptist, we were at West Cancer Center, we were at Vanderbilt Ingram. So as far as we could go, we went. And the staff at all of those places were tremendous. The ambulance drivers and paramedics held her hand because I couldn't get in the ambulance with her one of those times. And she told me about it when we got to the hospital, and she was like, "Can you go find out what that man's name was? Because he really made this comfortable for me when I couldn't have you right beside me." And those kind of things, man, it's like people, when they say they love you, especially here, they love you. And I feel that, my family feels that, and you haven't heard the last, obviously, of the Wallace family. And I just want to let y'all know, man, whether you know me personally and reached out to me via DM or text or just sent a tweet or a phone call, it's meant the world to me. It's meant the world to my family. It's meant the world to my kids. And LaShaun only wanted to just take one more trip. So after we leave here, we're going to go to Florida first to drop my daughter back off for her internship and her fall internship in Florida. And then we're going to make our way up to Atlanta to drop my older son off and her oldest daughter. And then me and the little ones are going to make our way back eventually to Memphis and try to plant these flowers that I know she wants to blossom in this city. Yeah.
I love your love for her, your love for your family. We love you. We're so happy that you were able to come in today and share and allow other people the opportunity to know what LaShaun was all about and how much she touched this community. So we appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you know how much I love you too. And welcome aboard, brother. Welcome aboard, man. Hey, you were my man was there when when we went through all of this and at the very beginning, and we had some phone calls and things of that nature, and we were just so proud to see him come on board with the Grind City Media family, and I just want to thank, man, CJ, thanks so much, man. It's an honor to see you here, and you're a perfect fit for this show because these two women are phenomenal.
Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it, man. It means the world coming from you.
No problem.
Mike, I just want to thank you for coming on the show. LaShaun was such a light, and I can't wait to see that light continuously shine throughout the city, throughout the world, and everyone's going to know her name.
Yes.
And so make sure you go follow Mike Wallace. He's got all the information of where you can donate in LaShaun's honor.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much.
We have a lot more to get to on To Rise and Grind. We'll be right back.